Hello, my friends. This is Paul, and I had another decent reading week. I only got in about 20, 21 hours around there. At the beginning of the week, I had a lot of time reading, but towards the end, I had other things I had to do that stopped me from reading. But I was happy with what I got finished, and I really enjoyed what I read, which is the most important thing. I could read like for 100 hours, but if I didn't enjoy it, that's not good. But if I read for only like 5 or 10 hours and I enjoyed it, that's what's important. It really is. So the first book I read was by Newman. It is called Between Two Thorns. It's the first book in the Split Worlds series that she has written. I really like Newman. I think the Planetfall series is one of my favorite sci-fi series, and I think she's an amazing writer. She's able to blend science fiction and fantasy with mystery elements really well. With the Planetfall series, it's mystery and suspense and sci-fi, but in this, it is fantasy with mystery, and she does it really well. So this is a Fae book. And the Fae world is in between. So there's the human world, which is the mundanous world for like mundane. And then there's the Fae world, and then in between is called the Nether. But in this Nether, there are families who serve some of the Fae, and they are in charge, and they are fighting against each other, and it's a lot of class or like house struggles and family struggles, but it all is kind of like a Regency England type feel to it. And so this woman has been living with the humans for some time now after she left the Nether world, and she has hidden herself from her family, from everybody, but they find her and drag her back in, and now she is engaged to this guy. And what's great about this book is there are like Jane Austen vibes to it and romance vibes to it, with this mystery of what happened to one of the leaders in this Nether world. And then there is just this really complex world building with these groups that control the goings and outings of these worlds, and who should be where, and who in the balance of power and stuff. And then there's like these sorcerers as well. It's just really interesting, and it was written really well. And I'm really looking forward to the second book because I really like the characters in this. It's really cool. And I want to see what happens to Kathy, who is now engaged to Will. And of course, they do not like each other. And we'll see what happens to her in book 2. I then reread Prince of Fools by Mark Lawrence. I originally read this back in 2005, at the beginning of 2005. It's right when I started my booktube channel. And this is about a young man who is the third prince in Red March. And in this world, it is the very far future of our world in Europe, only everything has collapsed, and it basically becomes a medieval fantasy world at that point. And our main character is Jalen, and he is a playboy, and he only cares about himself, and he's a coward. But then a spell gets cast on him, and this Norseman, who is this like big, strong guy with an axe, your typical Viking type character, and they have to help each other. And so they go on this quest to save the Norseman's wife and son, and the Norseman's name is Snorri Van Snagason, I think it is. It's just a great name. Um, and then they go on this quest. There's undead. There are gods trying to get them and kill them. And there's like a magic key that unlocks the world of the dead. And it's a fun book. The audio book is actually much better than the physical book because of the narrator. I think it's I can't quite remember his name, but he did like all the Mark Sullivan. Is it Mark Sullivan? The Hadrian and Roy series. Anyways, I think it's like Tim Reynolds or something. Anyways, this was fun. I hope to try to finish this series because that's why I reread it, because I have the other two books and I never finished it. So that's why I reread this. So at that point of the week, I had doctor's appointments. I had to get like flu and COVID shots. I had to help my parents move back to Delaware. So I didn't really have a whole lot of time or energy to read, but I did decide to pick up some mangas. First, I don't have this one. I already returned it. It was called My Dress Up Darling, the first one, and this was a little sketchy. There was a lot of fan service in this manga. However, the actual story was sweet. It's about a guy in high school who is a sewer, and he likes to paint like Hinata dolls, and he becomes friends with this girl who cosplays, and he is going to help her sew her cosplay dress, but he is not that socially adept, and so he gets super nervous around the girl. Unfortunately, the art is not so great. Like I said, it does have a lot of fan service to it. It's a little bit icky at times, but while you're reading it, you don't notice it as much because the story is so sweet. And it is a romance manga, and you can tell that they're forming a connection with each other because they both respect each other's passions, and it was sweet. Then I read 2 volumes of Spy Family. So it's hard to say like what happens in each of these volumes because a lot of the different missions they go on, they all blend together. So I have number 6 and number 7 here. The highlight for these was the tennis match, Twilight and Night. I think it's Nightfall, maybe. The other spy that's in the agency, they become pairs in the tennis, and she is all about getting Lloyd's love, Nightfall's, Twilight's love, and having him leave his fake wife so that she can be his fake wife. But the tennis match is hilarious, and it's just a lot of fun. There's an awesome story about Desmond and his father, and Lloyd ends up meeting Desmond's father for the first time, which is a huge part of the story. There's more about Yor's brother at the end of volume 7. They're about to go on a cruise, and on that cruise, Yor has an assassination mission actually to protect somebody, which is really interesting. And of course, Anya is Anya, and she's just amazing. And she's trying to do well in school, but she's terrible at school, and it's just really funny. What I like about these is you can jump in and out of these all the time and just enjoy it. Like, you can read for 2 minutes here, 3 minutes there, and just enjoy the few pages that you read, and then put it down and go do something else, and then come back to it. They're just so much fun. Like, they're just such a relaxing read, and perfect for when you're busy. And then finally, I read Kaiju number 8. This is volume 3. In this, we have Kaiju number 8 battling against now Kaiju number 9. He then battles against the vice captain, and at the end of this, a huge group of kaiju come from the sky that are working together, and there is a leader, and it's your basic Shonen Jump action manga. Reminds me a lot of Bleach. I like it though. It's a lot of fun, and I just enjoy the action, and it's just a good time, a good time. Because really, that's why we read. That's why I love to read, because it's a good time. I just enjoy doing it. So this week, I'm hoping to read The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. This will be my first Kingfisher book. Did not realize that she actually writes adult horror. I was under the impression that she wrote young adult horror. So I'm looking forward to this. I also would love to read the second book in the Split World series by Emma Newman. Looking forward to that. And if I am able to get to the second book in the Red Queen's War by Mark Norris, and that is The Liar's Key. So I'm looking forward to continuing to read the Emma Newman series and continuing to read that Mark Norris series, either finishing it or getting tired of it, either one. But the Emma Newman series, I don't think I'm going to get tired of, because I really, really enjoy it. It's that urban fantasy, Regency, Victorian England, and with a bunch of different genres. Just what I need to read, and it's just great. So those are my reads, and that is what I read. So I will talk to you all next week. I'll see you all then. Hope you have a great week of reading.